everyone. My name is Dan Harrison. You are watching NuPath Live. I'm your host today. It's Thursday, March 24th, and we have got a packed agenda with three guests today. Our first guest we're going to be talking to is Rich Haggerty, who is going to be with us to talk about an important event that we are hosting at NuPath a week from today, on the 31st of March, and we are hosting one of our first legislative forums via Zoom. Rich and Chicolo and Senator Cindy Friedman are kind of sponsoring this with us, and we are looking to draw as many as 20 state representatives and senators from the various cities and towns where we have programs. Big piece of advocacy that we're going to be joining with ADDP is around a move to get a significant amount of money put into the Chapter 257 rate reserve. And that is where we would be able to pay more in salaries. And there's a complicated formula for how we reach that amount of that ask, but we rely on our friends in high places, our state representatives, our state senators that understand the importance of the services that we provide, of the hard and great work that NuPath staff do each and every day across this organization. And I thought we'd bring Rich on to talk about that and to kind of set the stage a bit for what we are doing next week. So let's bring Rich Haggerty on right now. Representative Richard Haggerty, how are you? Welcome to NuPath Live.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you inviting me on, and as always, for all the good work you and your team are doing.
You are a familiar face in these parts. We were wondering, I think it's been at least 3 times that you've been on to talk with us over the past few years since we've been doing these. We've invited you on again today, and we were kind of joking around a little bit before, because as of this point in time yesterday, you didn't know you were going to be coming on as a guest to NuPath Live. But thank you so much for accommodating us and for your willingness. You've been a friend to our industry for so many years. You're my state rep, and I voted for you. And you've sponsored or co-sponsored so many bills that are to promote the protection and the supports to the elderly, people living with disabilities. You're just an amazing source, and we're so fortunate to have you on today. I guess it wasn't really a question. I'm just laughing.
I'll just sit
keep going. But before we start with the meat of this, how could we not talk about your addition to your family, Miss Harper Rose, who was born into this world on January, it's 26th. Did I remember that right?
Yes, correct.
Because
right,
that's the day after my mother's birthday would have been. So that's how I remember it. So that means she's going to be celebrating 2 months in this world on Saturday, I think, or this weekend. Is that right? Something like that.
That's right.
What's it been like to be a daddy? We've heard you're fantastic.
Yeah, she's a bundle of joy, and she's been great, and she's a terrific baby. She's almost sleeping through the night now, basically. So that's been wonderful to get back in the groove of sleeping a bit after the first 5 or 6 weeks. But the last week or two, she's been almost sleeping through the night, basically. And I'm so fortunate. Haley's, as I know, a lot of your viewers know Haley as a board member of NuPath, and she's a terrific mom, and she's of course. She's carrying the workload on this. I do whatever I can, but somehow, oftentimes moms end up doing a lot of the work, and Haley's been amazing. So.
Yeah, we had Haley on a couple of weeks ago to talk about it, and it was so poignant. She says, "Oh, Harper loves Rich, and Rich loves her. It's just so sweet to see them together," and it just painted a really lovely picture there's no denying, the joy it brings into the world, in spite of all the craziness that we've been living through when a new baby is born, and I don't know, everything else in the room seems to dissolve away. So you're happy then?
Yeah, we're super fortunate, very lucky, and Harper's she's been smiling the last several days a lot, so it's she's cute as a button. So we're counting our blessings.
Well, I'm a little disappointed in Haley. She said she was going to be sending me more pictures, but I guess I'll have to wait until the time is right. Maybe she's waiting for a photographer or something. But anyway, there's a lot going on, and I was hoping you kind of could explain to us a couple of things. You agreed some time ago when we were talking that you'd help us kind of sponsor a legislative forum through NuPath. And the idea that we had is something that we could do on Zoom, so legislators could come in, you know, from wherever they were. And we were looking for a way to connect. Of course, we know Chicolo, you, and Cindy Friedman, and from the Woburn, Reading areas, and you're very supportive of our cause. And then we were thinking about some of the other cities and towns where we've got a presence, where we have staff that are living throughout Middlesex County, our programs that are located in cities and towns all over, and so you have graciously agreed to assist us. We chose a date, and that date is next Thursday, a week from today, the 31st, we're going to be looking to. I don't know. We didn't really talk about the agenda, but did you see the invite that we put together?
Yes.
Did you have a chance? So one of the things we're going to want to be talking about is a request that's being made of the legislature to have some additional monies put into the Chapter 257 rate reserve. Can you explain to us what that means, what the rate reserve actually is? We throw these terms around all the time, and we're not always clear if people, or if I even know exactly what it all is about.
Well, I think, as I understand it, it's exactly what it's described as. I think it's a reserve account if necessary. But I mean, the other accounts are the ones that we really got to push up. The transportation number is a giant number that I think you guys are looking for this year to really significantly increase. I mean, we recognize, I think, in the legislature generally, that cost increases have been substantial over the course of the last year, just like they are in homeowners. We're seeing inflation, at a substantial tick for a variety of reasons, whether it's what's going on in Ukraine, or whether it's, of course, coming out of COVID. Those two factors played a significant role in inflation. But people, within the developmental disability community and NuPath and others are dealing with the factors of inflation that wreak havoc on budgets, and that means having to pay employees more. It means cost increases related to carrying properties, higher oil bills or gas bills, electric bills. And the employment side is a giant part of that. And I know, I'm sure you'll talk about that, but that is an area where we really have to spend additional resources to pay folks better, and also spend resources to attract good candidates to this industry, to help them understand the good work they can do, to help hopefully eat away at the backlog of, because we know there's a backlog of folks who maybe haven't been able to get services back to the level that they were pre-pandemic. And that's certainly something you could speak to.
We have a numerous number of those, and that's a lot of where this has come from. We've always fought to avoid having these long wait lists in Massachusetts, and been proud not to have to worry about that. But we have, a large number of people that have not been able to make it back, and staffing is the issue. This push that we're going to be trying to join with the Providers Council and with ADDP, and this kind of statewide, effort. Is they're asking for an additional $351 million to put into the 257 rate reserve, and that's to try to bring some of the salaries up from a low of $16 or $17 an hour to a minimum of 20. I mean, we're now in competition with Burger King and McDonald's and all these places, and we've not been able to hire staff back, and that is crippling. This safety net that has been so strong in providing supports for our most vulnerable citizens. And so, I mean, we're trying to figure out how we can best convey that. But it sounds like you've got of course you do have a good understanding. Where do you think others are in the legislature? People are understanding that we're all in tough positions?
Yeah, so the process on our end, at this point is really, we're in the window of advocacy. It kind of starts in January when the governor's budget is launched. And then over the course of the next several months, we obviously invite folks to provide feedback and to do, whether it's legislative updates with differing organizations, or individual meetings with constituents, to allow folks the opportunity to advocate for the items that are critical to them, their communities and their families in the budget. And that's kind of the moment we're in right now. And that's why I thought that it would be a terrific opportunity to bring together legislators with you and your staff to be able to make the case as to why this is so critical this year. And all years are important, but the staffing challenges that you all are facing, and you're not alone. I mean, I remind folks that this is something that is just going on across the Commonwealth in a variety of industries. but the work you do with folks is so important that it's never been more important to pay folks better, to be able to attract better candidates and retain candidates in an industry that needs all of our support and a heck of a lot of our love too. So.
You mentioned inflation and the rising costs that are confronting so many businesses across the Commonwealth and the nation. And, we are constantly getting word from different vendors and different, even, our auditing firm, you name it, going up in price, 10%, 20, 30, 40. And we're having to pay these amounts because in many cases, we don't have any other choice. We have to shop and buy food. People need to eat. We have to pay for health insurance. And yet we can't pass on the cost in the same way that others do because we get a fixed rate from the Commonwealth to reimburse us for services. So it's really important that and you have that understanding. We're looking for how we can best communicate that. It sounds like people know. It's just there's going to be a lot of hands looking to be fed, and how you make those decisions. I don't know.
I think next week you'll hear from legislators who will explain that they have heard from constituents about this issue. I think directly from folks who maybe haven't been able to get all the services that they were getting pre-pandemic for a variety of reasons. You're going to hear from legislators, I think, talk about and recognize, again, the inflationary pressures that the industry is facing. And I think everybody will have an open mind about trying to advocate for these resources for, of course, NuPath and really across industry-wide. We're fortunate this year, I think, that the Commonwealth we're running ahead of expectations comparative to where we thought we'd be from a revenue standpoint of view. We've been in a good spot. We're always keeping an eye on the bottom line. We're always making sure that we're putting money into our rainy day account so that we're well positioned to be able to deal with, God forbid, another COVID situation. But we recognize that while we're going to be conscious of the bottom line, we also have a responsibility to make sure that we're delivering services to our constituents, to our communities, and support organizations that support that effort, like you.
We're out of time. I promise you we wouldn't last longer than 10 minutes. You've got a busy day. You've been so generous with your schedule. It's going to be a crazy year. Maybe we can have you back. We've got the primary coming up in September. We've got the election for governor. We've got just a bunch of stuff that's going to be happening this year, and you're going to be in the thick of it. So you promised to come back another time, and we'll let you go. Thank you so much, Representative Richard Haggerty, for all you're doing for us and for being here this morning.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care.
We've got a packed show for you today. It was so great to hear from Rich, but I think maybe I talked a little bit too long. We're going to bring Scott Hagan on next, and we're going to talk about our newest board member that we're very excited about and we're going to introduce her later in the program. But Scott's going to tell us how he came to refer her to us. Scott Hagan, a member of our board. Let's bring him on now and talk to him. Scott Hagan, welcome to NuPath Live.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. When we saw a glimpse of you last night at our board, or Tuesday night at our board meeting, I thought I saw some palm trees, just waving in the breeze. And I thought, of course, he's got to make sure we remember that he's in sunny Florida and enjoying the beautiful weather. But it means that you're coming to us from quite a distance. How was everything with you and your family?
Everything's great. Yeah, very blessed. Everything's going wonderful. Of course, we got the nice weather and the palm trees are waving to you and the rest of the board. But
last year you had a camera that you would patch into, I forget, someplace where you could see the snowstorms whenever they came and how miserable the weather would be. I remember you talking about that. But and you've in the time since we've seen you or talked to you, you sold your business, Rhino Staffing. You're now working for a bigger group, and I think you've got some big position with letters for a title. How is that going for you? It's been busy for you.
Yeah, it's very, very busy, but everything's worked out wonderfully. The company's King and Bishop, so I'm Vice President of Business Development. I basically oversee all the delivery for the entire company as far as recruiting goes. So it's pretty intense, a lot of hours, but very grateful.
Well, we miss having more free and ready access to you when you were the owner of Rhino Staffing. But in this climate, I'm sure you're kept very busy, and I'd love to talk to you about that. at some point. But the reason we asked you on today is because we wanted to. We're going to be meeting Fatima Rodrigues in a couple of minutes and talking to her. She is our newest member to NuPath's board. A Tuesday night, we met her. We voted her in and officially inducted her onto the board. And she is here because of you and your referral. And it's kind of an interesting twist. I wonder if you tell us the story because we're so grateful for your intervention and your assistance in helping us find her. She's a great candidate. You want to tell us the story?
Sure. Well, then, as you know, you and I, after I think the last board meeting that I was in person, which I believe was last year, you and I went for that long walk after. It was like 11 at night. We went all the way down to the end of New Boston Street and all the way back. You remember that? And in that conversation, you were sharing with me your vision and things that you wanted to improve on in the organization. One of them, which you were very passionate about, was diversity, equity, and inclusion. And you wanted to improve that across the entire organization. And you always told me, keep my eyes open if I found anybody that was sharp that we thought would be a great addition to the board. And I had a former colleague that was on my LinkedIn page, and he saw NuPath Board of Directors on my LinkedIn profile, and he started asking me about it. And of course, once he did that, I just got very passionate about it and was telling him all about NuPath and you. And then he has a huge network in the nonprofit space. And I was letting him know that, we were looking to add some diversity to our board, and we're really looking for really good, sharp people to add that could bring a lot of good energy to the board. And he introduced me to somebody that was a CFO for a nonprofit in Boston, and I reached out to them, and they were already involved with a couple boards. She was very busy, but she said, I have someone in mind who just moved here. They're looking to join a board. She would be absolutely perfect. She made an introduction. That would be Fatima. And I reached out to Fatima. We went back and forth a few times on emails and text messages. And then I sent her the website for NuPath and said, it'd be really great to hop on a call with you. I could share my story. She researched the website the next day. She said, oh my God, this is perfect. Let's talk. So hopped on a call. We had a very long call, and she shared her story, which I'll let her share, but it's quite amazing. As she was sharing her story, I just couldn't believe how perfect of a match she was for NuPath. And so then I basically just, I told her all about you and your vision and my experience with the company. And she said she thinks it would be great. So I made that introduction email to you. And of course, once I did that, I knew, right? Once you started talking to her, it was a done deal. But you emailed me back after you finally connected with her, and you said, oh my God, she's perfect. And the rest is history. Last night we voted her on to the board, and I think she's going to be a great addition.
Scott, I wish I had you for the full half hour because there's so many things I'd like to talk to you about. It's been a while. You are such an amazing ambassador for the organization. But I think about the kinds of things that make a good board member, and our viewers are having a chance to kind of see, at a granular level, what one board member, that being you, has done to change something that's so important to this organization and increasing our awareness and our diversity and our inclusion and all of those things. You've been instrumental in so many other ways. Some of some really amazing hires have come through you. You are always thinking about carrying the message, the NuPath message forward, and we're so grateful for that. If there were any other board members watching this on NuPath Live today, that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. It just doesn't always fall in your lap. It takes some work to make good things, big things, important things happen. And Scott Hagan, you seem to really get that. As I close, because I don't really have much more time with you, is that a certificate for Club 50 on your wall behind you?
Of course, yeah. Oh, yes.
That was for 2018. That was the first year.
Whatever you do, you
Very proud of that.
But you're a passionate believer and raised over $8,000 for the organization, probably a lot more than that over the years, and have been a real source of encouragement to all of us. And now, I don't know, just having this new member on our board, it's been really amazing, and we're very excited to see what the future brings. We are grateful. I wish you'll give my my love and my greetings to your family, to Taya, and tell her that we'd like to talk to her sometime. She'd be a fun guest to have on NuPath Live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, I'd like to have a shout out, one last shout out to my niece, Alexa Tappan, who just had a baby girl.
I didn't know that. When did
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, yes. Absolutely beautiful addition to the family. Bundle of joy. She's absolutely gorgeous.
When did she have the baby?
Maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Oh my God, there's heads are gonna roll for this. How I didn't know that.
The
last time we saw Alexa, she was like, 10 months pregnant. She was showing up for work and doing everything. Well, congratulations to her. I'm glad you said something.
Sure, she'll share some photos.
And her husband. That's wonderful. Yeah, see, there's another great hire we have because of you. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a great shout out. I'm glad you included that. I'm going to have to go and find out why I did not have that information. That's information I like to know. But thank you for breaking the news. All right, Scott.
Thanks for having me. I miss you guys, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Good to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always good to hear from our board members. Scott Hagan is fun to talk to. We're going to move on now and hear this woman that we've been hearing about. Fatima Rodrigues, community leader, advocate, over 12 years experience working with various diverse groups and cultures, the mom of a son with autism. Fatima Rodrigues. Let's meet her now. Fatima Rodrigues, welcome to NuPath Live.
Thank you.
You're the woman of the hour these days. We on Tuesday night we inducted you as our newest board member onto our board of directors. You've been making the rounds. You were at a business meeting earlier this month. You had a chance to meet a lot of our executive team and a lot of our leadership team, and you've had a tour of our space at 147. I adore you because you are quick on your feet. You've appeared in a couple of videos already. And I thought now would be a good time to introduce you to the rest of the organization and let you tell your story just briefly as to like how you came to us and the trajectory that's brought you to us and how we've been so blessed to have somebody like you at our board.
Well, thank you, Dan. So I started my journey with NuPath by Scott Hagan. I met him and he's a wonderful person. But I just want to start why I'm interested in being on the board. So I originally was living in Florida for 18 years and decided to come back in 2015. But while in Florida, I was the founder, president of an organization called Autism Moms of Broward. And I use that platform to do fundraising and bring parents together and do community support events. Also, too, I have a child who is 16. His name is Victor. He lives with autism. And we decided to relocate to be closer to family in 2015 of August. And I started working for an organization called Central Boston Elder Services. Started there in the home care department and eventually moved on to the Elder Protective Services department, where I was an investigator for quite some time, and transitioned into the Protective Services Supervisor training role. And as of November of 2021, I became the Assistant Director of Program Operations. And so wonderful things have been happening since I've returned to Massachusetts. And also too, I just recently purchased a house. So that is, I just wanted to share that because I'm so excited.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. So a lot of great things, new beginnings for 2020. And I get to sit on the board for NuPath for 2020. So
Now you're saying 2020. Do you mean 2022?
I'm sorry, 2022.
Maybe there's something I'm missing here.
It's
We're talking about
Wednesday.
new. We're talking about new 22, and I thought she's doing a great job of pulling that theme in, except she's got the wrong year. You know, and congratulations on your home. And not only is it a new home to you, it is a new home. And you were telling me about it down in Randolph or South Randolph or someplace down in those parts. Of course, South Shore. So none of us have any idea what that means. We just know it's, you know, South Shore. But you were telling the story about how you, well, maybe I should tell this, but how you got there. You knew it was going to be sold, it was for sale, and you found the back door open. You kind of went in and walked around, and you had a chance to see it. You were like, I want this home. You said 5 bedrooms or something, so you've got room for
5 bedrooms, nice backyard, 2 bathrooms. And it was empty when I walked in, by the way. It was being renovated.
Yeah, I got that point. Yeah. You know, that's amazing. So you've got a lot of new exciting things going on, and now you're going to be newly appointed board member. I wish you'd talk a little bit more about Victor and about, so he's 16, so that puts him in what grade? Is he a sophomore? I mean, he'd be like in 10th grade?
He's a sophomore, yes, 10th grade.
And so I'm imagining, I mean, part of the work you did in Broward County, you did, I'm going to get the name wrong, but Moms of Broward County for Autism, or you put together your own LLC. And a lot of your work was in helping other families to understand their advocacy roles and how to, you know, sort of, move the needle on maybe services or accessing services for families. And so you're facing that yourself in the coming years. In Massachusetts, when you turn 22 years of age, you entered the adult system. Have you been thinking about some of the challenges that you're going to be encountering with Victor and what his future is going to be? And I'm sure these are things that you think about.
Yes, definitely think about the transitioning when he's an adult and aging out of high school, and just learning about NuPath and visiting the facility and learning about the different programs and what NuPath has to offer for families like myself. It gives me hope. It gives me hope. And I think I told you when I got a tour of the building, I got a little teary-eyed. So it gives me hope that there's a organization, a place where people like myself, you know, can bring their child and have that support. So it's very, very important for me. Yeah.
We are going to be, one of our initiatives in the next year and beyond is really finding better ways to connect with young families whose kids are approaching that mystical, magical, terrifying age of 22, when they're going to be leaving the safety of their school system and entering the adult world. And I am just so looking forward to being able to use your experience, see the world through your eyes when it comes to what do families need? How can we reach them where they are? How can we use digital communication, digital channels to reach them? How can we take the many things that we're doing well now and improve upon them? And what kinds of things can we decide to, cut from our portfolio and what really matters to families? So that's going to be a way that I think you're going to be so helpful to this organization. And if I may say in closing, willing to appear in any video that I might ask you to appear as. You're so great. You're so great. You've never said no to me once, and I think there's been 3 or 4 times already in a very short span of time. Fatima Rodrigues, we are so blessed and grateful and appreciate so much your service and your willingness going forward to provide service to this organization, and for your time today. I know you're a busy woman with many, many things going on, people depending on you. Thank you for being here today and for being a part of our family.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure anytime.
Well, it was great to meet and talk to Fatima. She's wonderful in many ways, but it's not Wednesday, 2020. We'll call it Thursday, March 31st, 2022. What's new in 22? We got this, baby. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.